thanks for coming. And I'm going to start out with our overview real quick of the company. And your key question you wanted us to answer was how could Aquatropics acquire some loyal customers, expand the community outreach, and then consistent profitability be maintained or even grow. And then our plan here was to incentivize, integrate, and outreach. And we think establishing a loyalty program could incentivize new customers, and integrating a marketing plan with our brand efforts could help. And we also think having some better community outreach and building strong relationships with the community could provide more outreach. And we think this could cause about an 8% customer retention increase, a 5.8% revenue increase, and increased brand awareness and build relationships. And then as far as competitors, main ones in Gainesville are going to be PetSmart, Petco, and Coral King. And PetSmart and Petco are pretty similar, both big box stores. They both have, lower end, more affordable options, but they don't really have a knowledgeable staff. And then Coral King's, he's really only saltwater, and he doesn't have any freshwater options like Aquatropics does. And our key takeaway here is that, they might have some advantages over Aquatropics, but Aquatropics has the title when it comes to staff knowledge and different livestock options and freshwater. And then here's like a perceptual map we put together. Basically you got like staff knowledge on this side being low, and then high staff knowledge, and pricing and low pricing. So we figure Aquatropics, does remain pretty competitive with Petco and PetSmart as far as pricing. And then the staff knowledge though is a lot higher, especially with Petco and PetSmart. I mean, they're really more like dogs and cats. All right, and then this is our analysis of what customers said they really wanted. And 52% ended up saying that they made another purchase from a company just after one good customer service experience. And then 53% said the most important thing they thought was the quality of the products offered. And then 86% of customers that had fandom of a store or were loyal to it ended up spending 86% more with those companies. And then our key takeaway here was that customers need good customer service, but they also want to be hired or offered high quality products by the stores that they enjoy shopping with. And then there's just another overview of that one slide we talked about, where we want to incentivize, integrate, and provide outreach. And then here are a couple ideas we considered, but we didn't really think were feasible right now. One of them was like a fish of the month or something like that. But we thought, that might provide some sales for maybe that fish, but our goal of loyalty might not really be met with that. And then another one was a newsletter, which we would like send out a newsletter each week. But that would take a lot of time at first to collect, all the customers' emails and stuff. And you'd also maybe have to take away some labor hours from someone on staff to do that. So maybe in the future that'd be an okay option, but like for now we think probably not.
So what does it all mean for Aquatropics? To improve the customer retention rate, and they must build brand loyalty through incentivization and visibility. So our first strategy that we recommend is to create incentivization for your customers in order to continue shopping. So we found that there's a lack of brand loyalty with Aquatropics. Not many people know what Aquatropics is. We found that some of the biggest drivers of loyalty is having a loyalty program established. So with the staff, we found that 35% ranked that a free reward system is a top driver in loyalty, as well as some users cite switching brands as a reason because there is no loyalty program offered. And then specifically the target we're offering, or we're targeting is pet owners, and 29% of them cite that a loyalty or rewards program as their top influence to where they end up shopping for their pet products. So we think that implementing a rewards program or a loyalty program will increase the Aquatropics brand loyalty overall. And we see opportunity here, especially as a small store. Aquatropics is very positioned to build their brand loyalty using this rewards program. So we wanted to look at the 4 different types of a loyalty program. The first is a tier system, which allows customers to move up through the tiers as time goes on as they continue to purchase. And there's a subscription model, which obviously allows for a regular fee to be paid. But the downside is that obviously customers can cancel anytime they want. Then there's a value-based system, which allows for the company itself to put some sort of or other proceeds into some sort of cause that they're passionate about, which is great for the community because it keeps the community invested and obviously working towards that goal. And then there's the points-based model, which is the most well-known. It's where you get points, or customers get points after purchasing and then over time they can use these points to cash in rewards, discounts, etc. So looking at all four of these, we think that there's a need for Aquatropics, and we want to take a deeper look into which one best suits your needs. So we conducted an analysis looking at the four types, and we conducted based off cost effectiveness, user friendliness, competitive advantage, and then integration with current systems, especially as a small business. That's very important to having that upfront cost. And in our analysis, we found that points-based was the most beneficial for Aquatropics, and because it allows for customers to get discounts, which is the main thing that customers are looking for when they are joining a loyalty program. As seen here, 61% of customers listing discounts as the most desirable part of the loyalty program. And then pet owners specifically are trying to find ways to reduce their spending on pet products and keeping up with their pets. So having discounts and allowing for them to start purchasing to earn towards those discounts is obviously very important for them. Another big thing for a points-based system is that it allows for you as a owner to adjust the rewards threshold. So let's say currently you are, every dollar that is purchased, a customer gets 100 points. Okay. If you think that customers are getting points too quickly and rewards too quickly, and stuff is discounted too often, you can adjust the threshold to raise it to, let's say, $1.50 for every 100 points. So you could very customizable, very good for looking at the market, how your demand is driven. And then another thing is that it promotes cross promotion. So let's say your lower selling items, you can put them as one of the rewards for a discount. Customers can then might think, oh, it's on discount, I'll purchase it. Maybe try it because there's less upfront cost to the product because they're getting a bargain for it. And that could also make it part of their maybe repurchasing habits, let's say, in the future. So we think that Aquatropics should implement a points-based loyalty system in order to incentivize customers to start purchasing and receiving those discounts. So looking at a points-based loyalty program specifically, we think that you should partner with Kenny Rewards in our research. They are a loyalty service software, a software service that allows for $59 per month, leading edge loyalty program software. Looking at what that $59 per month plan, which we thought was the most affordable and most aligned with what you wanted, what it offers obviously the point system, the redemption system. It allows for customers to get referrals. So if you, let's say, refer a friend, you can get a discount, money off, something like that. It also allows the coupons, the rewards, the offers, as well as social sharing. It allows for a system set up where if, let's say, someone posts on social media that they visited Aquatropics or purchased something, that they can get rewards for that, which obviously spreads word of mouth and it's free advertising, which is great to see. It also keeps up track of all your data and your insights. So through the dashboard reporting and through the customer segmentation, to keep track with what are customers buying on their discounts, what type of customer is buying certain products, see what is very prevalent in the marketplace, what are your best products, what are some of your worst products. And then obviously there's customer support, which will help you to do the threshold system as well as just adjusting the overall system. So with these useful services at an affordable price, we think, compared to other loyalty programs. Loyalty programs as a whole, their idea is to increase customer retention. So looking at customer retention is composed of three main aspects. The first one is recommending a brand to others. We found that 86% of shoppers will tell their family and friends about brands that they are loyal to, which is obviously great because you want free advertising, because obviously they are identifying themselves with the brand if they are sharing it with others. So creating that atmosphere as well as getting more people into the door and more people aware of the brand is important. The next aspect is repurchasing. So in a study they found that in a company that before it had a loyalty program and after it had a loyalty program, it found that there was a number of repeat purchases increased by 95% because customers are more likely to they want to work towards getting those rewards and feeling that that satisfaction they get from it. Then there's the brand loyalty aspect where 83% of customers say that belonging to a loyalty program is one of the major influencers in repeat buying at a brand, because they think it's one of the most important things, like I said, working towards the rewards, etc. So we think with partnering Kaden Rewards will help increase customer retention dramatically for Aquatropics.
Awesome.
Thank you, Kaden. So now I'm going to be talking about our integrated strategy. So we want to create an integrated marketing campaign
which essentially means that the messaging you're sending to your physical channels is going to align with what you're doing on the digital channels. So first, I wanted to identify one of the problems we currently have on the digital channel. There's low digital visibility, which is really detrimental to business growth and success. Currently, when you're looking up Aquatropics, on my end, it came up as maybe the 4th result on the Google search, which we want to make sure that when you're searching for it, customers are able to find it. And so this is really important because the efficacy of your internet marketing efforts is directly tied to your visibility. So the less visible you are, the less effective what you're putting out on the internet is actually going to be. So you don't want to waste your time putting out these efforts if it's not actually going to yield any results. Next up is that web visibility really reflects how the market sees your business value. So you want to make sure that they're seeing the value you have to offer with your knowledgeable customer service and all the brand personality you have to offer. Next up is that positive feelings come from better experiences online, and this results from higher brand loyalty and trust. Because if you have a warm, fuzzy feeling when you experience a brand, you're going to be more loyal and trusting in them and want to go back for more. And then finally, 51% of pet store consumers cite convenience as a factor, and 30% want digital options. So we want to make sure that we're available anywhere that consumers want to make it as convenient as possible for them to shop in your store. And so one of the solutions we came up with was using a modern website builder. There are a few different options. The first one is Wix. This is $29 a month, Squarespace for $23 a month, and GoDaddy for $20.99 a month. And these are all very comparable plans, but we decided to go with Squarespace because it has the most advantageous capabilities. So why Squarespace? Well, there's an in-store pickup capability, so if you ever wanted to implement that to even further convenience for your consumers, you can do that. The other ones only offer shipping options, so that would be more difficult on you guys for the shipping and everything. So for in-store, they could just come in, pick it up, and also get experience with your staff, so they're more likely to come in again. And then it's also easy to use. The interface is really simple but very comprehensive. They have AI design features, so I know that we have a limited staff, so this would save a lot of time because you'd be able to do something with AI and make it very tailored to your brand. There are also SEO features which will help increase that visibility on Google, Bing, etc. in a very efficient way that you don't have to spend a lot of time getting into the nitty-gritty. And finally, there's also customer segmentation abilities on Squarespace. So not only can you do it for in-store, you can also do it for anybody if they're doing pickup orders as well. So that's why we believe Squarespace would be the best option. And so this is just a brief overview of how you set up a website with Squarespace. You can start with a custom AI template. So you basically tell them what your website's about, and they'll create something based off of that. Or you can use one of the many pre-designed templates. And then you can also curate your messaging. Like I was talking about, they have all these AI features. This one, I put in a little description about Aquatropics, and I put the tone as friendly, but there are a bunch of different tones you can use to express your brand personality, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. And then next, like I said, the interface is really easy to use. As you can see here, it's a little small, but you can see it's very simple buttons and everything, so it's very easy to add in different features or take things away if things change in the store.
Cool.
And then finally, if you do go with the in-store capabilities, it's very easy to list a product, just an image, name, price, and you can easily delete it as well if it goes out of stock or anything. So Squarespace will allow Aquatropics to convey a brand personality and demonstrate all the benefits you provide for them, and also create greater convenience in the most efficient and time-saving way possible. So next up, I'm going to talk about the low social media engagement we have. Right now, Aquatropics has over 17,000 Instagram followers, which is amazing and really great for the brand. However, on the past 5 posts, I only saw an average of 32.8 likes on each of these posts, which means that only 0.18% of our followers are engaging with the social media posts, which can really be damage to brand credibility because likes equals social proof. So the more people see someone liking something, they're going to trust it more and be more loyal to that brand. So the key takeaway is that we need to engage current followers and create a loyal community online and physically. So there's an opportunity in the digital space right now, and that is to express your brand personality through the many different digital channels. And this is really important because humans attribute human-like characteristics to brands, even though they're not human things, which will allow you to differentiate yourself from your competitors like Petco, PetSmart, which people may not see as very human-like or relatable. And then each customer touch point is a space to build a relationship. So everywhere your customers are engaging with Aquatropics, they're building a relationship and getting an impression of who you guys are. So I want to make sure that these digital channels are reflective of who you are, because young consumers are increasingly using digital channels to communicate. And then finally, brand experience overall is really a multifaceted, complex construct, and it really defines your level of customer loyalty. So you want to make sure that throughout, everywhere they're engaging with you, it's the same customer experience and beneficial to you. So finally, like the brand personalities I talked about, there are 5 main ones, and the 2 I'm really going to touch on are sincerity and competence. So sincerity means you're down to earth, honest, cheerful, wholesome, and then competence means you're reliable, intelligent, successful. So sincerity really relates to a small business because you guys are relatable, you're honest, down to earth. And then for the competence part, you have a very knowledgeable staff. So you want to reflect that in every message you're putting out on the internet and in person. And then I also chose this because Gen Z, which is an increasing population in Gainesville especially because of the influx of college students, they really like things that feel real and authentic. So if you're feeling sincere, you're gonna attract more people. And then also Gen Z customers really reject companies that don't have clear stories or content. So if they're not able to see who you are from the media they're interacting with, they might not be as likely to engage with you. And then finally, they want to engage with brands that share their passions and can give them competent solutions to issues they might be having. So in this store, it would be aquatic environments. People are very passionate about that. And so you want to make sure that they see that you have the knowledge to be able to improve them over a store like Petco. And how are we actually going to do this? So when it comes to making posts online, there are a few different post types you can create, and they really split into rational and emotional. So rational posts include informational and remunerative posts. So informational would be things that just provide useful and helpful information, like a product image or product description. And these really help logic-driven consumers, and they're helpful for building impressions of the products you actually offer. And then there's remunerative, which is basically posts that allow for monetary or incentive awards. This would be something like an Instagram giveaway or sales information. And consumers often interact with those because of the hopes for a financial reward at the end. And then there's also emotional posts. So this would be entertaining and relational. Entertaining is just things that are fun and entertaining, obviously. This could be humor, fun facts, etc. And then this really helps highlight your brand personality, so you can show that you're friendly, you're cheerful, just like that sincere personality you're trying to put out. And then finally, relational. That's when consumers feel like they're building a relationship with your brand. So this is through like social interaction. This could be answering questions or posting pictures of your employees. And this really helps drive social interaction because they feel like they're interacting with an actual person. And all of this is especially important to building a brand personality because you're going to make sure these types of posts will really send a message of who you are. So which kind of posts should Aquatropics actually make? Right now you guys are doing an amazing job with all your informational posts, and I have seen a few of these different types on there as well. But I believe that increasing the amount of remunerative, entertaining, and relational posts will really help boost engagement. So some of the examples you could do with remunerative, you could post about any in-store sales you have, or if you go with this pickup option, if you have a special discount for people doing pickup, you could post about it there as well. You could host an Instagram giveaway, which I've seen done in the past. You could do it with some smaller things as well, just to increase the number of times you do it and get people to come in more. And then next, you could do like an entertaining post, like maybe an employee like cleaning the tanks. It's something they're already doing, just record it for the Instagram. Or feeding the fish, doing medical care videos. These are things that entertain people that are interested in fish. And then finally, relational, having a compilation of your employees having fun. This could be outside of work, in work, or doing like an employee Instagram takeover where they're answering questions.
Right.
That could really help them build bonds, and then they're going to want to go see that employee they saw on Instagram. And so the overall impact of this is we're going to have a higher like to follower ratio, which is really important for building brand credibility, and increased likes on each post. And then we're also going to have more effective consumer touch points. So that means that everywhere they're interacting with your brand, they're getting that same message, sincerity and confidence. And this will also increase ease of use through a more easy to use website and overall convenience because it's very accessible to them. And then finally, consumers will associate Aquatropics with warm emotions and positive human-like characteristics of competence and sincerity through those mixture of posts and then also the messaging you're putting out on your website. But overall, this will help increase customer loyalty and retention because consumers are going to have more of a relationship with you and want to return again and again. And next, we're going to talk about our outreach strategy.
Thank you, Khylin. All right, so our last strategy for you here today is outreach. So we see an opportunity with Aquatropics to partner with the tons of organizations, local organizations in the area, especially with the student organizations, 1,000 plus of them on the campus nearby. And the reason you should think about partnering with these organizations is for a few reasons, right? First of all, these organizations have members. So by doing stuff with the organizations, you're creating bonds not only with the organization as a whole, but also the members within them, which can lead to positive word of mouth. There's also, we know, a positive correlation. Consumers look very favorably upon companies who are actively working to improve the society and environment around them, which is another benefit you get. And finally, brand identity and goodwill. By partnering with organizations that have similar values to your own, you're showing how much you care about those values, your commitment to those values, which will create goodwill. So the next question is, well, who should Aquatropics collaborate with? And so we looked at a bunch of different organizations, and these are the two we really landed on. These are two student organizations. First off, we have the Florida Aquaculture and Aquarium Club. These guys are all about, first off, learning about the marine environment and learning how to build and maintain their own marine environments. We also have the UF Gator Scuba Club, and these guys are more focused on the educational side of things, really learning about how to conserve the marine environment, which is a value that you might have in common with them. So why these organizations? First off, they are pretty active on social media, okay? They have relatively high follower counts, but additionally, like I kind of said earlier, they have similar values to your guys' company, to Aquatropics. You know, they're all about conserving the environment, which is something that you can demonstrate as well. Another thing is they both have experience working with outside organizations. So both of them have hosted guest lectures, and the Scuba Club specifically, they've actually taken trips to go see other organizations, which is something you could potentially do with them. Cool. So here are a few specific things Aquatropics could do to collaborate with these organizations. First off, like I said earlier, guest speaking. Guest speaking is a great way to kind of show your expertise, demonstrate that expertise, start building that relationship with the people in the organization. We also, especially for the Aquarium Club, you could host workshops, maybe on how to build and maintain your workshop, or maybe, you know, what kind of salts to use for the different corals. I see you have a lot of salt down here. You know, obviously there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So once again, showing that expertise. Also for the Scuba Club, you could, you know, scuba diving is not as fun if you have no idea what you're looking at. So maybe teaching them how to identify the different kinds of fish, you know, what to look for. That could be something that would really help them and they would appreciate a lot. And finally here we have tabling. So a lot of the organizations on campus, what they'll do is they'll go to the plaza in the middle of campus and they'll promote their organization for a couple hours. And so we think that if Aquatropics maybe help them with that just for a few hours, 1 or 2 days, that would really demonstrate your commitment to working with these organizations, build that goodwill, but it would also generate buzz about your own company, right? Because people would be seeing Aquatropics in the middle of campus, so there would be a lot of sites there. So basically, what we're trying to say is that there's a lot of, you know, simple things that Aquatropics can do to collaborate with these organizations that will be highly effective in attracting new customers and building that relationship locally. So let's talk about the impact of this, right? So overall, the impact is that you're going to be getting these new customers who are extremely loyal and look at Aquatropics as the go-to store for all their marine environment needs, right? Because of that word of mouth, because of those relationships, and because of that brand image you'd be creating through the values. So basically, what we're trying to say is that community outreach is vital to small businesses, and by reaching out to these local organizations, you can create and get all these new customers. And now I will hand it off to Jonathan with the financials.
Thank you, Ben. So moving on to some of the financials, I understand you guys gave us a budget of $500. So we actually do come under $500 at $403 for the year zero implementation cost. So Squarespace is $23 a month, and the loyalty program, Kangaroo, is $59 a month. So this is assuming we're starting in July 1st. So it's half a year of 500, and for years 1, 2, 3, and 4, obviously it's a little bit, there's a bigger increase in the cost, but that's because it's for the whole year. And then, so Aquatropics will experience an increase in revenue and improve customer retention with our strategies. So as you can see here, are based on other small businesses that have implemented this strategy, they've seen about a 15 to 50% increase when they improve their website, and about a 15 to 25% increase when they implement a loyalty program. But we have a more conservative mindset. Obviously, 50% is like kind of overkill.
Right.
So from year 0 to year 1, there's actually going to be a 30% increase in revenue. And then from the years 1, 2, 3, and 4, there'll be a steady increase of about 2%.
Okay.
Just to kind of measure how successful these strategies are, if we successfully implement both the website and the loyalty program in 1 year, that's a good measure. Another thing that you were looking for is greater than an 8% increase in customer retention. So our research shows that websites increase customer retention by 3%, and the loyalty program increases customer retention by 5%, to a total of 8 or more. And lastly, if there's a greater than 30% increase in revenue from year 0 to year 1. However, there are some risks associated with our strategy, but we have some solutions to mitigate those. So the first one is that maybe the team does not have enough time or knowledge to develop a website. However, the website we have chosen for you guys, Squarespace, is designed for simplicity and user-friendliness. So kind of, as Khylin was mentioning before, it kind of walks you through with the AI. So it's very easy to use, won't take that much time or knowledge. Second, the consumers may fail to adopt the loyalty program. However, we can easily mitigate this by introducing the customers to the ease of use at checkout or online at the new website. And then lastly, there may be little to no increase in customer retention. However, to mitigate this, we can partner with local organizations and host PR events, and that will keep customers engaged and more, and maybe it may attract more customers. And in conclusion, just you've seen this slide before. Our key question that you've asked us was, how can Aquatropics acquire loyal customers in the Gainesville area and expand their community outreach while maintaining a consistent level of profitability? We have to incentivize, integrate, and outreach. With incentivize, we establish a loyalty program. Integrate, we utilize an integrated marketing campaign to align digital brand efforts with Aquatropic goals. And lastly, with outreach, just collaborating with local organizations and hosting PR events. And just the overall impact, greater than 8% increase in customer retention, 34% revenue increase from year 0 to year 4. And then lastly, we will increase brand awareness and build relationships. Thank you so much.
Fantastic, guys. That's awesome. Yeah, the only question I really came up with throughout that entire thing, you guys hit nearly every point that I had questions about, which is fantastic. The app that would integrate the point system, does that have the ability to integrate into a point of sale system, or will it run like a separate app? I don't know if you guys know the answer to that.
Yeah, it does integrate with
it. Does? Okay,
that was one of the
fantastic.
key factors we were looking for.
Okay.
Was that it was being able to integrate with what you currently have, because that is a big upfront cost.
Yeah, it makes it as a time saver, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be having to bounce back and forth
Exactly.
between two different systems, so that's fantastic. No, social media was a really cool way to demonstrate some of that stuff, because it's one of the things where we've always said, hey, we're going to start doing weekly posts, but we've never really committed to it, and this is proof that we would need to do that. The point system is something we've been toying around with the idea of doing for years, and you guys showed the numbers, so make me see that it's actually worth doing that.
Yeah.
And then we do actually get requests to do some of those PR events from time to time, and again, you guys have shown that that's important and something that we should actually do. So, no, guys, I really appreciate it. This is fantastic. You guys did a really, really good job.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Thank you for listening.